thing. Hey, Morgan, you might want to mute your mic.
Okay.
Until you have something really profound to say.
Okay, thank you.
Yep. Okay, welcome back, guys. This week we're in week 7, so we are getting into one of the most technical modules, which is on production and costs. This is real pick and shovel work. Once you get through this, it's all downhill. But in the meantime, let's talk about the 2 things that are probably on your mind. At least one of them is. The first is the exam.
What's he saying?
What's that?
What's he saying? Say hi. Where? Hi.
Hey there.
I didn't go to class today.
I know. I know.
Is that Mr. Greenlaw?
Yes, it is.
Hi, I didn't go to class. All right. Okay, bye.
All right, bye, Julia. Okay. Okay, so taking the exam is only the first step. The next step is doing test corrections. Who is that person? Some random person jumped in and jumped out. That's what happens on these Hangouts on air. So if you did less well than you hoped on the exam, then test corrections are a way to earn back a lot of points. Basically, what you need to do is look at each of the problems that you got wrong and figure out how to explain why the right answer is right. You don't need to tell me why you chose the wrong answer. You just need to explain why the right answer is right. Then you make an appointment and we talk and you explain those things. And for every question that you correctly explain, I give you half a point back. So I was going to say, if you got a 0 on the exam, you could end up with a 50. That's not too exciting to talk about. But really, it really gives you an opportunity to raise your grade on this. It fits in with the whole mastery learning thing, where the point is not how you do the first time you try something, but how you do when you get a chance to do it over again. So you guys can have until the Friday after spring break to get your test corrections done, okay? While you are welcome to come talk to me face-to-face, you also have the option of doing these online, either through Skype or Google Hangout or anything that you want. So what that means is I will not be having office hours during spring break in my office, but if you guys want to do these conversations during spring break, we can do them online. So it's just another option for you. I will say, and this is for Morgan because she tends to be this way, don't wait until that Friday to make an appointment with me, because I can't do 70 students in one day. It's just impossible. So make sure that you make your appointment early, but that you do your appointment, you get an appointment, right, while I still have time. I'm not actually worried about you guys because you're the high achievers, you're here. It's those other people, the ones that wait until the last minute to do things, okay? So don't be one of those people. Got it, Morgan? You can just give me the thumbs up. Okay, good. Okay, any questions about that? Morgan just got knocked off. Oh, well. Okay. The other thing that I wanted to talk about was our online discussion on Twitter. We got a good start. Not all of you have participated yet, and you can participate more than once. The whole point here is to figure out a really good definition of business, something that we can use for the rest of the semester. And we're not there yet. We've only just, we're probably about a third of the way through. So we have 3 more days to figure this out. There's one big question that I raised that no one has responded to. And that question, let me just see I don't remember how far we got. Let's see. Okay, so people talked about commerce, people talked about selling goods and services, and I raised the question of where do these goods and services come from? What's the answer to that? Hey, Mohammed. Where do the goods and services come from that businesses sell? This is not a trick question.
I think in many cases, manufacturers have to make them, or someone has to make them.
So you're right. An essential part of business isn't just the selling of the product, but it's actually producing the product too. Okay. And one of the points that I made in my my in-class class is that production is more than just manufacturing. It also includes farming and fishing and mining and a whole bunch of other things that we don't necessarily think of as making something in a factory. Okay, so the question that I'm going to raise tomorrow is, what is production? How can we define it in a way that basically covers all our bases? Okay, so you're going to have like 12 hours to think about that question. I'm sure you have nothing at all else on your mind. Certainly not Maeve. But let's try to finish strong, so that because this is only the first of several online discussions that we're going to have. This is particularly for those students who said, oh, I have a class at the same time as your Google Hangout. Is there anything I can do to get my class participation done? Well, yes, there is. Participate in these online discussions. You know, they are asynchronous. You can do them whenever you have time. You don't have to do it at the same time as anybody else. So what my plan is for next week meaning after spring break, is to talk about the module on production and cost, because that's fairly complicated. I'm going to sort of give you the Cliff Notes version, but you should make sure you have a chance to work through that module so that when I give my short summary, it will make sense to you. Otherwise, you know, you won't get as much out of it. What we're going to be doing for the next several weeks is looking at how firms operate under different market structures. Market structure is basically how a given industry operates, and there are varieties to this. You know, you could have a monopoly, you could have a perfectly competitive industry, and how those two things operate are very, very different. But what we're going to be doing is asking exactly the same questions for each of the different market structures. So if you don't get it the first time, hopefully you'll get it by the end. Okay. But you know, just like accounting is kind of fundamental to understanding business, production and cost theory is fundamental to understanding all these different market structures. So what we're going to be doing this week and into the next one is really, really important. So I know I've been talking quickly. Anybody have any questions?
This really doesn't pertain to what you just said, but for assignment 4, our reflection.
Yes.
I submitted it through Canvas, but then I remember that you don't like Canvas and you prefer things emailed. Do you want it to be through Canvas, or do you want it emailed?
No, I want it to be emailed. That's why I said, please email it to me. But, you know, if you've already done it through Canvas, don't worry. I'll just think bad thoughts about you when I read yours.
Well, the only reason I because on the thing it says, but I realized it's for your, like, your in-class.
It's okay. It's okay. It really is.
Okay.
What drives me really crazy is people who do it both ways just to cover all the bases. In case I was lying when I said, please email it to me.
Yeah.
You know, that's Morgan.
I did that because I submitted it on Canvas first, and then I was like, wait, email it to him.
Okay, it's okay. You know, if this is the biggest problem you have with our course, then you're doing just fine.
Just in regards to the test we just took, I just want to make sure that the final is cumulative, right? So everything that was on this test we'll see again.
Yes, but even if it wasn't, as you know from last semester, economics is pretty cumulative. It all builds. So yeah. So good question. All right. So if that's it, then I will go eat dinner, and it'll put me in a better mood. Think about when you want to make your appointments for, and send me an email, and we can get something set up. When there's a line outside my office, the people that have actual appointments with me get to go first. So, and you know, that's the way you want to do it. All right. In that case, see you after spring break. Have a great time. Enjoy the beach or home with your parents, whatever it happens to be. And I'll see you next time.
Thank you.
Yep. Or just home, Mohammed.
Mm.